damn!
Hey everyone, this is Erin.
And this is Stacy.
Here with episode 2 of I Said Goddamn!
Yeah, we are. We got Carl here with us too. He's just pantsing like a motherfucker on the bed.
Because it's so hot in here.
It is. I'm pretty toasty. And plus we're drinking really hot coffee.
That's very true.
So I'm sweating like a stuffed pig.
Like a stuffed pig?
Yeah, that's not a thing. They bleed, right?
Yeah, I think stuck pigs bleed.
All right, I'm glad we addressed that.
You could be sweating like a whore in church.
Oh, yeah, or sweating like a well-digger's asshole in July.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Well, hey, Stacey, do you have anything that made you say goddamn this week?
Hey, Erin, of course I do.
Oh, thank God.
I actually didn't have anything that interesting until I was on my ride, or my drive here today.
Mm-hmm.
So approximately, 30 minutes ago, I was driving to Erin's house, and on the freeway, there were like 300 cop cars that went flying by with their sirens.
100?
They must have called every cop in the city.
I think we made this joke last podcast.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, with the firefighters? I mean, it's a running joke in our lives. No, but seriously, there had to have been at least 20, and they passed like in groups of threes or something.
Oh my God.
And their sirens were blaring, and they were going towards my house, like my little area of living in this land that I'm not going to give you because I don't want to triangulate my location.
Smart.
Yeah. But anyway, just coming from right where I was at. And so I call Lee and I'm like, hey, man, you should look up what's going on because I am a fucking nosy Nelly and I need to know. And he's like super uninterested and like,
oh my God. Brandon would have been like, I'm on the police scanner already.
I fucking re-downloaded the police scanner from my goddamn cloud and I listened and there was a goddamn hot pursuit, high-speed chase, and I could hear them talking like, he's getting off on get the spikes out. God damn it, I just triangulated.
He was going near your house.
Yes, he's going near my house. And I was like, oh, motherfucking shit. So I called Lee and I'm like, there's a high-speed chase and it's coming your way. I don't think I called him. I think I texted him, but I debated calling him because I was like, he needs to know so he can like look out the window or something. Anyway,
yeah.
I was listening to it. I told Lee to listen and I was like giving him fucking real-time updates. I'd be like, they're on this freeway. They're heading eastbound. They're getting the spikes out. They're doing this. Yeah. And then I got to your house, and as I was pulling into Erin's neighborhood, there was a car in front of me, and they were going super, 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 super slow. And so I was kind of like on her ass, but not realizing I was on her ass. But I was like listening to this high-speed chase, so I was like so much anxiety.
Go faster.
And then I realized that I think she thought I was like following her because it turned out to be Erin's next door neighbor. And then I like parked the car, and I think she got creeped out. I don't know for sure, but definitely there was a boy and a girl out there, so I'm assuming her husband, like she called her husband like, hey, somebody is fucking following me.
Somebody followed me home and they're here to murder me, and they parked right outside my house.
All the lights came on. I'm like, oh my God, I'm just playing with my phone. How do I turn this off?
Oh, I must be on GPS. That's why I wasn't sure the speed limit on this street.
But I didn't want to open the door because I had the police scanner like fucking cranked.
Oh
so I didn't want it to be like, he's going eastbound, get the spikes out. Anyway, so I pulled up and then I got out of the car really fast because I didn't want to offend your neighbor, and then I didn't get to hear the end of it. But right now, I just checked my phone and Lee said that they got canines on that motherfucker asshole. I don't know if he's an asshole, actually. I don't know anything about him. But they called they must have pulled him over, and then the canines came out and got him down, and he's in custody. I don't know anything else other than that, but I was like, God damn. Erin.
Yes?
Please tell me your goddamn story.
I will. Mine happened actually just this afternoon. It was something that made me say, God damn it, instead of God damn. But same thing. Well, I was making myself some delicious grilled cheese.
Yes. And your dinner, as adults have for dinner.
Yeah, because I'm an adult and I can make whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, you want grilled cheese for dinner? Fucking make a goddamn grilled cheese.
I'll have goddamn ice cream and cereal for dinner if I want to. And I wanted a goddamn grilled cheese. So I had, you know those handheld cheese slicer things that are like shaped like a triangle and they have a handle and there's like a blade on it?
Oh, you mean like a cheese grater?
No, it's not a cheese grater. It's like a handheld thing. It has a handle and it's a triangle and there's a blade on it, and you like put it on the block of your cheese and you like slide it along the top and it gets this little slice of cheese.
Are you talking about one of those things that it has like a rolly thing on it with a wire across it so that you can like...
No, because that's
what
fancy as
fuck. Oh, wait a minute. That's just from like my childhood.
Yeah, those are like with the wire and you like slide it down. It's on a marble block always.
No, that's like a cheese cutter. Okay, there's going to be like 45 minutes of us explaining cheese cutters. Wait, okay, so I'm talking about it has a handle and it kind of looks like a metal paintbrush without the bristles, and then there's like this rolly thing that goes across it, and then there's a wire on the outer side, and then like as you run the wire through the cheese, the rolly bar helps glide down, and then you have a slice of cheese.
It's very similar to that.
Okay.
But it's not that.
But it's like that, but it's nothing like that.
It's like that, but it's not that at all.
Is it like a hybrid of that and a potato peeler?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's solid metal.
Yeah.
At any rate, I was holding the block of cheese, as you do.
Yeah.
With my thumb.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, with my thumb on it, and I was cutting towards myself with this thing, like pulling it towards myself, and it was like stuck on the cheese.
No.
And I was like, ugh, and I was doing it, and I was like going really hard, and I was like, man, this is gonna catch, and I'm gonna have to like, stop it right before it catches myself, right?
No,
I didn't. I gouged the fuck out of my thumb in 2 spots, and then
it bounced.
Well, it looked like I have a bone in my thumb.
Yuck. Yeah.
And so I just took out both, like the knuckle and the bone. And it gouged it. And I was like, oh, goddamn.
Oh, fuck, man.
Yeah.
You think you're going to get like a handicap placard for that?
I think so. There was blood on my cheese block after that.
Okay, so remind me not to have any cheese for a while.
I wiped it off.
Just wiped it off.
Yeah. And then I probably ate that apart, so.
Did you still make a grilled cheese sandwich?
Fuck yeah, I did. It's the best goddamn grilled cheese I ever had.
Bloody grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah, so that's what made me say goddamn
Oh
today.
my God.
Mm-hmm.
That is literally something made of my nightmares.
Yeah, I do that all the time where I'm like,
Ugh.
oh, this is a really, really bad idea. I'll stop in time. And then I don't stop in time.
And then you fucking regret it. I do that shit when I'm like peeling carrots really fast with one of those carrot peelers. I literally never do this, but it has happened. And then I like peel the top layer of skin off my thumb, and it is like the worst fucking feeling for like the next 4 days.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Like the sun hits it, and you're like, I can feel the heat.
Yeah. And we don't have any Band-Aids in this house because Brandon uses them all. Anytime we get like a box of Band-Aids, Brandon's like, they're done.
Wait. Listeners need to know that Erin at one point in time had in her house some sort of powder that you put on like dog toenails or something. If you clip them too short and they start to bleed, you're like, dip them in this powder.
Yeah, it was like, I don't remember what it was called. Like stipple powder. I don't know.
Did you use that on your hand?
No, I did not.
Oh my God.
Although that's probably got a lot of blood in it too, because one day Brandon cut himself really deep and like just stuck his hand in there and was
in
like,
the whole
container, and he's like, I don't understand why it's not clotting. And I was
Oh
like,
my
holy shit,
God.
you are bleeding a lot. He was allegedly intoxicated.
Yeah. Did he have to get stitches for that or anything, or what? What happened?
He probably should have, but he didn't.
Just fucking super glue it, wrap it up in duct tape.
Yeah, I was asleep and he came in like just bleeding everywhere, like it won't stop, and I was like, Jesus Christ, figure it out.
I love that that's your reaction. Like he's bleeding in the middle of the night, it won't stop, and you're like, figure it out.
I was pregnant, to be fair.
Oh,
and so I was like, you need to miss me with that shit.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
I am sleeping, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh, you're bleeding, but are you making a human?
Yeah, but are you dying?
Yeah.
So
talk to me later, bitch.
Yeah.
God damn, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to see that you made it tonight, despite your...
a little bit of blood loss.
Yeah.
But-
How do you feel?
You know, a little woozy.
Yeah.
Pretty caffeinated, but we're going to be all right.
So much caffeine. What the fuck is that noise?
I don't know. I think there's someone out there trying to back down a driveway.
It might be a
be
rape
mine.
whistle.
Oh, it could be.
But it's like the most beautiful rape whistle.
They're playing it like a goddamn harmonica.
Like a fucking piccolo.
Oh, what are those things? A recorder. Hot cross buns.
Oh my God. I used to have that like recorder, and it came with a book, and it was like all the Lion King songs.
Yeah. I didn't have the Lion King songs. I had like Goofy songs.
Oh, Goofy.
Yeah, like
the
Mickey
Disney
Mouse, but it was Goofy.
Oh yeah.
I also had a cassette tape that went with it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What if that's where I got my Lion King cassette tape?
Like you stole it from me? You bitch.
No. But like, what if it came with the recorder and the Lion King book and then the Lion King cassette tape? This is why she's my goddamn bestie.
Yeah, beginning of our friendship.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you ready to tell me your story?
I'm going first. I'm really excited to tell you. Okay, you're going to have to excuse a lot of the words that I say because they're Russian.
Oh, good. You're like, excuse me, you're not going to understand a word of this story.
I'm just going to tell this podcast in Russian.
Okay, I'm fucking buckled in.
So I looked up a couple of like, how do you say this word?
Yes.
And it gave me one of them, and all the rest of them, it was like, that's not a word. I
Yeah,
was like,
you
but
don't.
like in Russian, and it's like, mm-mm.
You don't say it.
Okay, this incident is called the Dyatlov Pass incident.
Bless you.
And it takes place This event takes place in 1959 on February 1st and 2nd.
Oh my God. Wasn't your last story around February too? It's like Valentine's Day?
Yeah. I like February. That's how I search for my stories.
Shit that happened in February.
Interesting things that happen in February. Maybe I'll do the next month every time.
Good fucking luck, man. It's hard enough to find a good one that hasn't been covered all over the place already.
Seriously. Okay, so back in 1959, this
Okay.
takes place in the Soviet Union,
Mm-hmm.
which is now Russia.
Okay.
I am going to destroy all ties that we may or may not have had with Russia with my awful accent.
It's all right. We've come this far.
There will be no collusion, though. Okay, so Soviet Union, 1959. A group of 9 people were going to be led by Igor, I don't really know how you say that.
Oh, I like Igor.
Igor Dyatlov.
Oh, that was a really good way to say the last name.
Thank you.
It's because you Googled it, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the one that let me Google it. Also, if you'll remember what the incident is called, it's called the Dyatlov Pass incident.
Oh, it's like the dude's last name.
Yeah, foreshadowing.
He has a whole fucking pass named after him?
Yeah. You don't want to go to these extent to
Okay.
get this pass named after you.
Okay.
Well,
I heard that knock again.
I did too. It's okay. We're in a haunted house.
Yes.
It's my house. It's haunted.
It is fucking really haunted.
But that's okay.
That could be one of our stories one day.
Yeah, it could be. It's a very friendly haunting.
Yes.
So this guy, Igor, he gets 8 of his friends, 9 including him, to go on an expedition, a skiing expedition.
Oh, that makes sense. It's Russia. I was thinking a hike, and then
Well,
you said
yeah.
skiing, and it threw me off. But I guess that's a thing people do.
Yeah. I mean, some people that are into, physical activity.
I'm very cultured.
They're mostly fellow university students. It was 7 men and 2 women, that is including Igor. They're aged between 20 and 24, with one, token old guy who's 38.
Aw, he's like, come on, guys, I'm still cool, right? Let's go skiing.
That was a really good accent. Let's go skiing. So they were all experienced hikers. They were, this is weird, but they were grade 2 hikers.
Ooh.
Yeah, and so they all had ski tour experience, and they were going to be receiving their grade 3 certification.
Is this like scuba diving, but for hiking?
Yeah.
I didn't know
essentially.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't either, but I also don't live in Russia.
No,
or
me either. Yeah, that's a fair point. Very fair point.
So I don't know if it's still a thing or not, but yeah, like you said, it's like scuba diving, how you're certified to go up to a certain feet or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, these guys are.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
There's altitude and shit.
Yeah, these guys are
breathing.
grade 2, and they're going to be receiving their grade 3 certification upon their return from this place, which is the highest certification that you can get. And you have to go 190 miles or something. You have to have hiked 190 miles to get that.
Ew.
Yeah.
It would not. I mean, if I'm gonna hike 190 miles
Anywhere. Well, it's not in one time. It's
overall,
I have,
it's
1,000
like
hours
a
flying or
permit,
something.
getting a permit for
You
hiking.
have to have so many hours driving.
Yeah, fuck that shit, man. It better be like a goddamn grade 100.
Yeah.
190?
3 is as high as it goes?
Yeah.
I want to be like a level 90 wizard.
Yes. Yeah. She is a level 90 hiker, guider person.
So the route that they're going to take, everything was in kilometers, so I had to convert it into freedom units so that we would know
Freedom units.
so that we would know how far these things were. So
Let's hear it.
the route was 10 kilometers, which is 6.2 miles. So not even that bad, right?
Yeah.
But it was rated as a category 3, which is the most difficult.
There are a lot of fucking numbers in your story.
I know. I always
Okay.
do this.
So it wasn't that long of a hike or ski. They're ski hiking.
Yeah, they're like ski expedition.
Okay, but it was fucking hard.
Yeah. And it's February in Russia, which I don't know what Russia's normally like, but I feel like it's always winter. I feel like it's always snowing.
Yeah.
Like when you think of Siberia, you're like, oh, that guy's wearing a fur coat.
Yeah, and like one of those Russian fur hats with the ear flaps.
Yeah. Although don't have any idea if this is near Siberia. So.
Okay, well, I'm glad that we are keeping our shit legit.
Mm-hmm. So,
Geography.
on January 25th, which is a couple of days before the incident, they traveled by train to a place called
Let's hear it. No, let's hear it. You have to give it a shot.
Ivdel.
Oh, that wasn't so bad. It sounds
Yeah.
like a short one.
Yeah, and
Short
then
word.
by truck to Vizhai,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they took a train, and then they took a truck.
And then they took a truck, which was the last inhabited settlement to the north, like in Russia or whatever. And
King
so,
of the North.
What? What'd you say?
I said, King of the North.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's what they were planning. They were trying to get to the top of the mountain or something.
Mountains are always north.
Yeah. And also, like, you know, king of the castle, king of the mountain,
Yes.
king of the hill. That's what it is.
Glad we worked that out. Okay, so they...
So they take a train, then they take a truck, and then they're in this last inhabited village in the north before they get to, like, their place, their trailhead or whatever.
Okay.
And while they were in the town, they purchased and ate loaves of bread.
8 loaves.
No, 8, like as in nom nom nom.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were giving me a number. That was another.
You're just ready for numbers.
I thought it was another fucking number. Like, okay, they purchased 8 loaves of bread.
It may or may not be relevant that they purchased this bread in this town.
Okay.
We don't actually.
And then they ate it.
Yeah, and then they ate it.
Okay.
So then January 27th, they began their trek. Diaries and cameras made it possible to track them to the day before the incident.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm a horrible person.
Okay,
what year does this take place?
1959.
They had cameras? Oh, like a picture camera?
How? I don't know what other kind of camera there is.
Didn't you say diary and cameras?
Yeah, I said diaries and cameras made it possible to track them to the day before the incident.
So they probably took pictures on their trail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, because I've been fucking Googling
you were
too
thinking
much.
like CCTV.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
not
That's
that.
why. Okay. I'm
Not
with
that.
you. Sorry.
Yeah, like they owned cameras. So January 31st, they get to this highland area, and they're like getting ready to climb up the mountain. And so they bury their food and supplies for the trek back.
Oh.
It was mentioned, so I was like, I'll say that. And also, just squirreling away food. Like, that's weird.
Well, I mean, we don't live in fucking Russia, but, like, that's a genius way to store your food because it'll forever stay cold.
Yeah, it'll stay cold, and as long as you bury it, I guess, like, animals and stuff won't get it, and then you don't have to carry it the whole way.
I bet squirrels would find that shit. They're probably hibernating. Do squirrels come out in the snow?
Can someone in Russia tell us if there are squirrels there?
All you have to do is have a podcast to realize how dumb you are.
That's true.
Like, record you saying actual shit, and you realize how much you don't actually know.
Yeah, and then you're like, I wish people didn't hear me say those things.
Yep, but we're going with it.
Mm-hmm. So, February 1st, they start to move through the pass, and they should have made it over the pass and made camp on the other side, but, they should have made it over that day and then made camp on the other side for that night. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
But there was, really bad conditions. Do you hear Carl crying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Carl doesn't like the story.
He's scared.
Carl's like, I want the food they buried.
Where did they bury it? Did someone get it?
That's the true mystery.
Bum, 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 bum. So there were worsening conditions. There were snowstorms, and they lost their direction.
Uh-oh.
Well, they realized that they got lost, so they decided to make camp on, a slope instead of going 1.5 kilometers, which is less than a mile. So instead of going back downhill to a forested area that would have provided some shelter, they were like, fuck it, let's camp here. And the Igor guy, he is the one that made that call because he was the leader of the group.
Okay. Do you think that they didn't go, well, I guess you don't know, obviously, but maybe they didn't go any further because it was whiteout conditions and they didn't realize that there was a forest that would provide cover?
Well, they did realize that there was a forest, but one guy that was actually supposed to be on the expedition as well, he got sick on the second day out because he had heart problems or something.
Oh, that's not a good
Yeah,
thing.
and so he had to turn back and go home. And so they talked to him because he knew those people and stuff. And he said that Igor he could have possibly not want to lose the elevation that they had already gained.
Oh.
Or he wanted to practice camping on a slope.
What does that mean that you don't want to lose the elevation that you gained?
You'd have went uphill really far, and then you would have to go back downhill for a mile or about a mile.
And then go back in the
morning. And then go back uphill the next morning about a mile. So, that would suck, right?
Yeah.
They told their sports club that they would send a telegram. Yes, a telegram.
Oh.
On February 12th when they got back to this little village, right?
Okay, so that's how they would know we're okay.
Because it's the days before cell phones and stuff, so they have to be like, hey. The guy that dropped out, though, he said that Igor told him that they probably expected to be longer than the 12th. And so when the 12th came and went, he wasn't that concerned about it. He was like, meh,
not that shocked.
Yeah, it's fine. And I guess it was pretty common for expeditions like this to go a little bit, like a couple days one way or the other.
Who can predict the goddamn weather?
Exactly.
Other than a weatherman.
Well, sometimes they don't even really do it that well either.
It's your one fucking job, man.
So then the 20th came around.
Oh my gosh, this is like, that's a lot of many days later.
That's a lot of days later.
That's a lot of
they
many.
expected to be back on the 12th, and then 8 more days went by, and then the families were finally like, yo, go find our fucking kids.
8's a lot. And the guy who had heart troubles wasn't shocked at 8 days? Or was he long gone by now?
It doesn't say, actually, whether he was or not. So, February 26th. So now, they started on the 27th, so it's been like a month.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Yeah. On the 26th, they found the group's abandoned and badly damaged tent on that slope that we talked about. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, this is a quote from the people who first found it. The tent was half torn down and covered with snow. It was emptied, and all the group's belongings and shoes had been left behind.
What?
Okay.
Okay.
Fucking weird. The tent had been cut open from the inside.
I'm freaked out.
You should be.
From the inside?
Yeah.
Why didn't they just use the zipper?
Why didn't they just use the zipper?
Oh my god, maybe they were just trying to get out of there real fast.
That's a possibility. So around the surrounding areas, 8 or 9 sets of footprints were found, wearing only socks or a single shoe, or some of them were barefoot.
Oh my god.
And they were leading down the slope to the edge of the nearby woods. And by nearby, I mean like a mile away.
Yeah. Did they lead all the way down there, or were they just going in that direction?
They were going that direction. The footprints didn't lead all the way down because, like, however many yards away, they got buried by snow. Like, the tracks got disappeared.
Oh, okay.
But at the forest edge under a tree, visible remains of a small fire were found, along with 2 bodies.
Oh, no.
Okay.
So they fucking allegedly bust out of this tent, run far away, like a mile away, with no shoes, and then they build a small fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I bet their feet are cold.
Good recap. Yeah, their feet are probably freezing. They were
Yeah.
shoeless and dressed in their underwear.
Okay.
There were branches broken on, like, the tree that they were under. There were branches broken 16 feet up, suggesting they'd climbed up
No.
to look for something.
No.
Maybe.
Okay.
Possibly to look for something.
Or like firewood, maybe? Like, break this and try to...
Maybe. But I was imagining, like, not full-on branches broken, but, like, oh, this part's been snapped and that part, like...
Oh, they could just
grabbing
see
onto
that
it.
somebody had climbed. Or what if
Yeah.
they were trying to get away?
They could have been trying to get away from something. This is a
Yeah.
what, hypothesis?
Yeah.
Speculation?
Okay.
Maybe they were looking for their camp. So then between the tree and the tent, there were 3 more bodies that were found.
The tree where they found the 2 people. So in that mile hike area.
Yeah.
3
that
more
slope.
bodies.
3 more bodies were found. They were buried under, like, 4 feet of snow or something.
Holy shit. It really is
I think.
snowing.
Yeah. So it, like, that's why they weren't found first. The people in the forest were found first. The 3 bodies that were found, one of them was Igor, the leader of the group.
Uh-huh.
They were in poses suggesting they were trying to return to their camp. They were all found...
What does that mean?
I'm assuming, like, facing it,
like halfway high, like their leg is arched up like they're going to climb another rock?
Yeah, there's mid-step.
Like a fucking lava flow erupted or something? And
they were found, like... It says 300... One body was found 300 meters from the tree, one was 480 meters, and one was 630 meters from the tree, which 100 meters is a little over 100 yards, so a football field.
Okay.
So they were, like, really far away from each other.
Yeah, that's weird.
They weren't, like, together or anything. They were, like, staggered out. So then it took over 2 months to find the remaining 4 bodies, and they were found further into the woods from the tree.
Okay.
Okay, so... This is another quote, was, those who died first relinquished clothes to the others, which I took, like, relinquished?
Wait.
Really? Like, they died, and they took their clothes.
Yeah, they didn't relinquish.
One of them had, their foot was wrapped in a piece of someone else's wool trousers.
Probably because he didn't have shoes on, and he's getting frostbitten.
Yeah. And another one was wearing another person's fur coat and hat.
So they're trying to figure out, they know who died first based off of them not having any clothes. Like, those people by the tree probably died first.
However, they're still not fully dressed.
Like, they're haphazardly dressed?
Yeah. They were, like, haphazardly dressed, and the people who did have clothes weren't fully dressed. Like, they weren't like, oh, and I had my pants on and everything. Like, they were still like, oh, they had one fucking shoe, and...
Like, their pants were on but not zipped up.
Like, they might not have even had pants.
What the fuck?
So, the bodies.
Okay.
It was initially ruled hypothermia when the first 5 bodies were found, the 2 under the tree and the 3 on the slope.
Mm-hmm.
One guy had a small crack in his skull, but it wasn't thought to be a fatal wound. And so they're like, it was probably hypothermia, right?
Okay.
Well, then when the next 4 bodies were found, it changed that. Ooh, bum, 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 bum.
What's going on?
3 of them had fatal injuries. 1 had major skull damage.
Holy
and
shit.
2 of them had major chest fractures.
What the fuck? What does that mean?
Well, the force required to have caused these kind of chest fractures and skull fractures would have been equivalent to that of like a car crash. And there was no external wounds. Like, there was no external
It was
wounds.
just all internal?
Yeah, it was all internal. But it was as if they had been subjected to a high level of pressure.
Oh.
Fucking weird, right?
That's super weird. Like their insides
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like got crushed, basically.
exploded or imploded or...
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So one of the girls was one of the ones that had the major chest fractures.
Uh-huh.
She had major external injuries as well. She was
Oh.
missing her eyes, her
What?
tongue,
What?
her part of her lips, facial tissue,
Ew, ew.
and a fragment of her skull bone.
What the fuck,
right? Yeah.
Ew!
All right.
Wait, why would you take someone's lips?
Well,
Maybe
I
an
don't know if they were
animal ate.
taken. It could have been an animal.
What did you say?
That's all we know.
That's all we know.
That's all we know.
That's the end of your fucking story?
That's the end of my fucking story. Well, no, I have theories. for
Okay,
you.
good. Because,
Okay, are you ready for some theories?
yes.
So, here's the avalanche theory. Maybe they got out of the tent because the entrance was buried, so they had to, like, rip out of the tent. That would be one cause of, like, the cutting out, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Or they thought an avalanche was imminent, and so they were like, well, I'm just going to bust out of this tent as quick as I can because it's easier to repair a cut in my tent than it is to be buried alive. So there's that. And then they ran for cover in the woods, and they were sleeping. That would be, like, why they were partially dressed, right?
Yeah. But wait, I want to go back to this tent thing.
Okay.
I feel like it's so much easier to just unzip it than it...
In a fit of...
Yeah, I was just gonna correct myself. I have tried to unzip a tent, and then, like, you pull on it, and it, like, jerks to the side, and you have to, like, hold down one side, and... But
or, God forbid, that tiny little piece of the flap gets stuck in there.
Yeah, then you're
and
like...
then you're fucked.
Trying to...
Like, I've been stuck in tents before. I'm like, I guess I live here now.
This is my home.
Yeah. Good thing this one has a porch.
It just sounds like so much more work than, like, ripping out your pocket knife.
I mean, maybe they had their pocket knife easily accessible, though, because they were experienced hikers.
Maybe that's why they cut it out. The little zipper flap thing got stuck in there.
Yeah, it could
They're
have
like,
been.
fuck, I don't want to live here.
So, this is still the avalanche theory. After the avalanche, maybe 3 of them went back to get their clothes, but died along the way of hypothermia.
After the avalanche, they're like, let's see what's left. I would like my clothes, or
Yeah,
we're going to die.
Yeah, exactly, because, like, they weren't dressed. So they're like, well, I need fucking clothes.
Uh-huh.
Here's the things to disprove the avalanche.
Uh-huh.
There were no obvious signs of an avalanche. The terrain-related physics says that an avalanche is entirely unlikely. So, like, this is not a place where an avalanche would have happened.
Okay. But 4 feet of snow. Oh, well, that's a lot of snow
but it's
to fall.
Russia. I don't know.
That's true, but 4 feet is a lot of snow.
Yeah, but...
Coming from somebody who lives in Southern California.
Who gets, like, an inch of rain.
For, like...
a year.
Yeah.
If there was an avalanche, then the trajectory that it would have gone would have bypassed the tent, and neither Igor or the really old guy that was there would have camped in a potentially, like, hazardous avalanche spot because they were all really experienced.
That's a good point. I'm sure they mapped that out.
So, second theory is infrasound.
Infrasound.
Yes, which I'll explain to you what that is.
Is this going to creep me out to where I can't sleep at night?
Maybe.
I'm already creeped
I
out.
don't think so. Probably not.
I get creeped out by this shit real easily. Like...
This is not the greatest podcast for us.
Yeah, I've already lost so much sleep fucking researching this shit.
Well,
okay.
The infrasound theory is that wind going around the mountain created a Kármán vortex street.
Stop it.
Yeah, which can produce
yes.
infrasound capable of inducing panic attacks, physical discomfort, mental distress. So saying that they, like, tore out of the tent because they were panicked. And then further down, like, closer to the edge of the trees and stuff, they would have been okay and, like, been back in their right mind. But then hypothermia would have, like, killed them or whatever. And then the 3 people that had the bone fractures, they're saying, like, maybe they fell over the edge of a ravine, which I don't know how that's a theory because I feel like that could be easily proven.
Yeah, they'd be like, I found them at the bottom of this ravine.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they were fatal, right?
Yeah.
That freaks me out. Is that really a thing?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Do they hear this sound and then it makes them panic, or is it just like an internal thing?
Yeah, I think it's more of an internal thing. I think it's like you don't know, like the brown note or whatever. It just makes you shit your pants.
Yeah. Well, the brown note I find hilarious. This creeps me the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like you could okay, that's weird.
So another theory is military testing.
What?
And it was like an accident and then covered up.
It is Russia.
There were records of parachute mines being tested in the area around the time. And parachute mines detonate 1 to 2 meters up.
Oh.
I don't know how high that is.
In the sky?
Yeah.
Like before they hit the ground?
Yeah, before they hit the ground. Like 1 to 2 meters, I think, is only like this tall, like person height.
Okay.
I don't know that for a fact. You guys can correct me
Sounds
later.
about right.
They can produce like heavy internal damage and very little external trauma because
of like the pressure of the explosion.
Like how, the pressure of it, how it goes off and stuff.
Ew.
So then people believe that the bodies were moved because the photos show the tent was erected incorrectly, and that's something these experienced hikers wouldn't have done.
Well, wasn't it halfway like torn down? So how do they know if it was correct or not?
I don't actually know. I saw some pictures of it, and you couldn't really tell because it was like kind of partially covered in snow, but you could see like part of the front of the tent, and it's one of those tents that has like, you know, those posts or sticks or whatever, those things. I don't know. Maybe those were like in wrong. I don't know. I'm not a tent expert. I'm not a tent expert.
They're like, this loser putting this pole over here.
Yeah,
don't they know that goes on the left back corner?
I don't know, man. Maybe it was like facing the wrong direction.
I like to wake up to the sunrise. Turn the tent around.
There was an initial suppression of the files regarding the group's disappearance.
Mm-hmm.
There was radioactivity found on some of their clothing and bodies.
What does that mean? Does that support the parachute bombings?
This is still the military testing.
Oh, okay. Parachute bombings.
Yeah, parachute bombings. They had orange skin and gray hair. That would, like, kind of be the radioactive thing.
They had orange skin and gray hair?
Yeah.
Like when they found them?
The bodies, yeah.
All their hair was gray? Or like they had gray hairs? What does that mean?
All it said was they had orange hair, orange skin and gray hair. I don't know if it was all the way or it was like a stripe or what.
Just one stripe.
Ooh, I'm stressed.
Oh my god. Pigment. They're like old Oompa Loompas.
Yeah.
But you should have mentioned that they had orange skin and gray hair.
Well, it didn't mention it in like the long overview, and then it was like, what if it was military testing?
But this is what supports it.
Yeah, this is all supporting military testing.
What the
Here's
fuck?
What disproves military testing.
Okay.
Radioactivity would have affected everyone and all of the equipment instead of just like some of them and some of their clothing. The orange of them could be attributed to mummification because they'd been out there for 3 months.
Oh, that's a
Same
good
with
point.
like the gray hair and stuff.
Your hair turns gray?
I don't know, I guess. Yeah, like dead people.
Yeah, I've never seen them after they've been dead for so long that their hair turns gray. Like if
I don't know, all the dead people in movies have gray hair.
Is this like referencing Tales from the Crypt?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm referencing.
God damn it.
So there's another theory is paradoxical undressing, which is something that hypothermic victims can suffer from, which is they start to suffer from hypothermia and they experience a burning warmth, so they start to undress instead of putting on more clothes.
That's the worst. That's the worst side effect.
Yeah.
That's something that means you should put more clothes on.
Yeah. Well, to disprove that, some of them were found to have taken clothes from other ones, so like they were obviously
cold.
in their right mind. They weren't thinking like that they had that. So another theory is a Russian Yeti.
Stop.
Or a Menk.
What's a Menk?
A Menk, M-E-N-K. I don't know. It's a Russian Yeti, I think.
Yes, a Menk.
Other thing that it's called. They have superhuman strength.
Naturally.
Because they're a fucking Yeti.
or supernaturally.
The thing to disprove that is
like
that
logic.
Is that there's no fucking evidence, and also it's like a Yeti.
So, I mean, what the fuck do we know? There's weird shit living at the bottom of the ocean that we haven't discovered yet, but that seems a little, radioactive Yetis.
Yeah. I wrote, but I mean, maybe.
Who knows? We weren't fucking there.
Yeah.
Wait, what was on their cameras? Was it just pictures of them hiking? There wasn't anything of that night?
Yeah, there wasn't anything of that night. Oh. That was like the end of it. So another theory is that they were attacked by Mansi, which is a local tribesman.
They have local tribe people
I guess so.
in the wood?
To disprove that, the tribe is peaceful.
They're not fucking crazy or radioactive.
Murderers.
And if somebody were cold and in need, they'd probably help.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they did. They helped build a small fire.
Maybe. And then they were like, you're on your fucking own because you guys didn't grab pants. So I can't take care of you.
Idiots. I don't have enough pants for this.
Another theory is an animal attack, which, like, obviously, right?
Yeah, but, like, none of them have external injuries,
None of them have external injuries, except for the one lady who's missing all of her.
Okay, that's the weird thing. Except for, like, what if it's an animal attack? Maybe, like an animal headbutts them. There's rams out there, and somehow the horns don't poke through. And then,
I don't know if rams are in Russia.
I don't know if Russia has squirrels or rams. But what if it's an animal like that headbutts when it's threatened? Or like a fucking moose? Are there moose
like
in
a
Russia?
polar bear, because that would be like equivalent to like a car crash, right? If he just swatted you with his big old paw.
But they have nails.
I would call them talons.
Unless they like death roll into you. And then he was like, fuck yeah, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat just her eyeballs and her lips.
Yeah, he's very delicate. It's like caviar, but people caviar. Just their eyes, though.
But not eggs, yeah.
But not eggs. The other thing to disprove the animal attack would be that there were no animal tracks. Like, they found the people footprints and stuff. There were no animal footprints. So.
And they only found 8 sets of footprints?
8 or 9. So, I mean...
I'm sure it was a shit show.
Yeah, I think it was. Another thing is that there were no drugs or alcohol at all in the group. There was a small flask of medicinal alcohol, but it was like, you know, if you get a cut and you're going to put alcohol in it or something.
Oh, okay, like rubbing alcohol.
Yeah. And
medicinal alcohol.
Yes, medicinal alcohol. The group even swore off cigarettes for the trip. Like, they weren't intoxicated or whatever, like, fucked up in their head.
They didn't get laced with something. That's a good thing to not smoke when you're hiking in altitude.
Which would have been another, like, okay, they bought that bread in that town, right? So I think that's why that was mentioned in the beginning, is that maybe that had something in it, but they didn't.
Okay. Can I ask my question?
Yep, because that's all I've got.
What the fuck's up with that dude?
What
Do
dude?
you think the guy who turned back 2 days later?
Oh.
Is it like...
He turned back, like, before they even started their trek, though.
Oh, okay. I was thinking if he had done the hike and, like, been with him on the hike, and then suddenly he's like, oh, I don't feel good, I came back. Or that's the story he tells us. But really, he did some fucked up shit to them and then came back, and they're all, like, murdered in the woods. But I don't know how that would explain, like, 4 feet of snow, other than they've been out there for so long, though. Now that I'm thinking about it, they've been out there for a month. 4 feet of snow isn't too bad.
Yeah. In, like, fucking North Russia.
Yeah. For some reason, in my brain, it was just, like, a couple days later or something, so that seemed, like, excessive. But that seems kind of normal.
And they found them, like,
they've been dead for a while.
Yeah.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
No. And now the guy has a pass named after him.
Why just that guy?
Because he was the leader, I guess? I don't know. Like, they kept being like, and Igor did this, and Igor did that. And I'm like, well, I mean, what about the other people? What about the other people?
Beautiful.
But, like, because that's kind of fucked up. Maybe he was the one that, like, organized the trip and everything.
Yeah, I guess it would be a little excessive to name off, like, 9 people every time you're like, are you going to go to Igor?
You could have, they went to the same
Alexa?
university.
I don't know. That's all really weird.
Yeah. Super fucking weird, right? Maybe
That's
someday
weird.
someone will have
An answer.
some idea. Oh, actually, just recently, one of the bodies got exhumed. Like, this year.
Why?
One of the bodies got exhumed for something.
Well,
I should have probably looked into that more.
Was it the lady who had her face eaten off?
No, it was one of the men.
I still can't get over this face eaten off thing. Like, oh, maybe birds, because they
I was
peck
thinking,
at eyes.
yeah, like, that's where the little animals would have come in and eaten her face or her eyes and stuff, like, afterward. I don't think that was the cause of death, but her cause of death would have, well, I mean, either hypothermia or the giant chest fractures.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So there's like a farm in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget what it's called. It might be just called like the body farm. But they like people will donate their bodies when they die to this farm, and they put them out in the elements. Like they'll put them outside with a cage around them, or put them outside without a cage around them to
Or like
see
under
like
a tarp and stuff. I've seen that.
yeah, to see like how the bodies decompose and what animals eat what and how long it takes.
To get like the maggots and stuff too.
Yeah, so that you can tell how long a body has been decomposing. That's the purpose of this.
Yeah.
And like other things too, I'm sure, but that's like one of the big beneficial factors of this place. So I'd be interested to know, because I watched it a long time ago. I don't really remember, but I think I remember hearing that like birds go for the eyes and the lips first.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because it's like the easiest to pull flesh.
Gross.
And they go for your face. I know that.
Well, I mean, if the person had or the girl had like a coat or anything on too. Like her face may have been the
Only meat.
main accessible part.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
Well, thanks for that.
yeah, you're welcome.
Lovely story.
God damn. Stacey, would you like to tell me your story?
I am so excited to tell you my story.
I am so excited too. It kind of looks like Carl is going to tell me because he's in front of you.
Just pretend that my voice is coming from Carl's mouth.
It's not his voice.
And then it'll be like Carl is telling you the story.
I like it. I like it.
Hey, Mom.
I was going to say he has a much deeper voice than you.
My story is about Armin Maivis from Rothenburg, Germany.
All right.
He is 56 years old, and he's a male, obviously, because I've been saying he. But at the time of this occurrence, of this episode, of this crime, I think he was like 30-something.
Oh.
This happened in 2001. I didn't want to
Wait.
do the math.
He's alive?
He's still alive,
Okay.
yes. Yes.
This
And
is different.
I realized in my notes that I wrote like how old he is now, and then I was trying to do the math just now at how old
Oh.
yeah, he was when this happened, and then it's not relevant his age at all.
Don't do math.
Don't think so.
Math is hard.
Anyway, so in 2001, Armin, so he goes onto a website called Cannibal Cafe, which I will have you know is no longer a website anymore.
Oh, you are on a list. Did you try and go there?
I didn't. It was in one of the articles. One of the many articles I read mentioned that. And basically, this website was for people who have a fetish with cannibalism. Like, they get sexual pleasure from the idea or the thought or the act of eating somebody.
That is fucking disgusting.
Or from being eaten by somebody.
Who has that fetish?
I don't know, but they exist. So Armin goes on this website and
Hold on. Side note. Probably shouldn't judge somebody for their fetishes.
I'm judging for this motherfucking fetish.
That is pretty weird.
I will judge for this fetish.
Okay.
I'm all about people like having whatever fucking fetish they're into
All your kinks.
and doing your thing.
But like eating someone, that's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know where I draw the line. It's not very clear because I'm a pretty accepting person, but evidently I draw the line at cannibalism because that's so fucking weird.
Yeah, the line's pretty blurry, but that's clearly on the other side of it.
Yeah. So he posts an ad on this website, and Armin says, I'm looking for a well-built 18 to 30-year-old to be slaughtered and then consumed.
He just thinks that
3 people responded.
Get the
well,
fuck
a bunch
outta
of people
here.
responded, but 3 people actually
like wanted
responded. And so the first guy, Armin picks up at the train station, and they go back to his house, and they like are going into the act of Armin's about to like kill this guy. And I guess while this guy was licking Armin's rubber butcher boots,
Oh my god.
he was like, you know what, I don't think I want to do this. And Armin was like, all right, you just want to like bone and eat some pizza and drink some beer. And that's what they did.
Get
And then-
the fuck out of here.
And then the guy leaves.
He was
And-
like, wait, I don't want to get murdered tonight.
Yeah, and Armin's like, all right, like, I don't want to do it if you don't want to get murdered.
You have to be consenting murderer.
What the fuck? Okay, so then the second guy answers his ad.
Wait
Another,
a minute.
Yeah. You stressed?
I am. Okay. Even if you've consented to be murdered,
Yeah.
like that first cut into you or whatever, like you're going to be screaming and be like, fucking never mind. dude."
Psych.
Yeah.
Just
Aren't
kidding.
you? Or at least be screaming, and then I feel like that's like not consent anymore, right?
Well, clearly you do not have the cannibalism fetish.
That's true. Okay, I don't like this. Go on.
Okay, so the second guy consents to be slaughtered and eaten, and he gets to Armin's house, and he asks Armin to burn his testicles with a flamethrower.
Who has a flamethrower?
Right? What the fuck? Who
Did
has...
they get one for this? Did he bring one?
I feel like Armin would be like, well, first of all, that is is a ridiculous expectation that I would have one of those.
I'm here to murder you, not to please you in every way.
I guess, though, if you're willing to be murdered, I should do it in the way that you prefer.
Was he okay with like an aerosol can and a lighter? Or was it like he wanted the jetpack?
He had some like Banaka and a Bic lighter. And he's like,
Exactly.
Mirror, come here.
Hey, mirror. Some Axe body spray because you
Oh
want it to be
shit,
nice.
that would be some solid fuel.
It's romantic.
Cover up the smell of the burning flesh.
Ew.
Wait, so the guy wanted him to burn his testicles with a flamethrower.
Okay,
and...
hold on.
Okay.
I'm hung up on this again. or now.
Yeah.
I don't think flamethrowers are that accurate.
Is it like one of those, like, what are they called? Those cocktails with, like, the booze in the bottle and the rag coming out of it? What are those
a
called?
Molotov cocktail.
Yes. Is it like that?
Well, I mean, that's kind of like an explosion. But, like,
Yeah.
I feel like you're not just going to get the testicles. Like, you're going to get the whole person.
Precision.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like, all of your leg hair is also gone.
Okay. I didn't mean to. Oops. I fucking toasted your belly button.
There's no more lint in there. All of your chest hair is also gone.
It was like
I really
went up
need
in
to know what he
flames.
meant by, like, flamethrower. I need to know what his expectation was.
Yeah. I'm thinking that flamethrower is like the German form of like a blowtorch.
Oh, like the thing that meth heads use or what, or heroin addicts? I don't know.
Or like if you're going to make creme brulee.
Yeah, that. Yeah. Okay, I have one of those at work.
I mean, I don't know. It said flamethrower.
Yeah, I would have said like kerosene torch or something.
Yeah.
Or just whatever, propane torch. Because, yeah, I have that at work. But all I've ever used it for is killing a spider.
Oh my God. I was like that. Don't.
Listen, kill it with fire.
Yeah. But when you said all I've used it for is killing, I was like, we can't admit to this.
Murdering thousands of little baby spiders. I'm sorry if anybody really likes spiders. I'm terrified of them, and I didn't know what to do.
I've never lit a spider on fire. Do they like run away in a tiny little ball of flame?
It was just like the little egg sac thing. And I was like, I'm not letting this get out of hand.
This isn't hatching. Not on my watch.
So they weren't like hatched yet, I guess.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay, so this guy says, Armin, you can kill me, but you have to burn my testicles with a flamethrower and hammer his body down with nails and pins. And Armin was like, that's a little extreme.
Like, so Armin backed out of this one?
Armin backed out. Armin's like, I want to slaughter you and eat you, but not like that.
He's like, listen, this guy's a weirdo.
He's probably like, if I take a flamethrower to this guy's dick, it's going to get all over his body, and that's like 25% of the meat I can no longer consume.
Or it'll cook it.
Yeah, but I'm sure he wants to, like, prepare it, not just, like, fucking, like...
Not just sear it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like this is dangerous activity for, like, your apartment, too. I don't know if he has
an apartment. A flamethrower? Yeah.
I don't know if he has an apartment, but I feel like a guy that wants to slaughter and murder somebody, or slaughter and eat somebody, he's living in an apartment or a basement.
Actually, I think he says he has a house.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, he's doing well.
I guess.
Oh, actually, yeah. He does live in a house.
Okay.
Because he has neighbors. Not that you don't have neighbors in apartments, but...
That's fair.
You know, the neighbors are like, he's mowing his lawn, and you don't mow a lawn in an apartment.
That's true. Well, there goes my stereotype then.
Yeah. So, the third guy that responds to his advertisement, his name is Bernd Brandes. I'm totally saying that the white way. I'm not even going to try to attempt to do it any justice.
In the German way?
Yeah. Bernd. The guy's name is Bernd.
Like, I burned myself?
Like Bernd.
Oh, okay.
Burned.
Okay.
So he agrees, and he meets up with Armin. And I just want to note that in those other two scenarios, Armin didn't force anyone. He was just like, yeah, no, we're not going to do this shit. Like
the first guy was like, I don't want to.
You don't want to do it? I don't want to do it. And then the second guy who's like, I don't want to do that, so bye. And then the third guy's like, yeah, let's fucking do this shit. And he's like, yes.
Oh, my God.
So Bernd and Armin meet up, and this is March 9th, 2001. And they're in Armin's home, and they videotape this.
Get the fuck out of here.
I will not get the fuck out. They bone. They go after it.
They go after it?
They get down and dirty. And then Bernd takes 20 sleeping pills and drinks a whole bottle of schnapps. But I also read in another article that he drank a whole bottle of cough syrup. But basically...
It's almost the same because I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of alcohol in schnapps.
Yeah, probably.
Isn't that like... I mean,
peppermint schnapps?
Yeah,
I wonder if it was peppermint.
It's like the only kind you get. It tastes like Christmas in my mouth.
Yes, exactly. So Bernd was sleepy and had Christmas in his mouth. And he tells Armin to bite his dick off.
Oh, my God. Wait, he wasn't passed out from all the sleeping pills?
No, he was just like, you know... like fucking drugged up, like this will make it so it won't hurt.
Oh my God.
So he's like, yo, Armin, bite my dick off. And then he tries to, and it doesn't work, because I bet it's hard to fucking bite a dick off.
Oh.
He did not prepare for this. He should have been like chewing on some now and laters, like working up his jaw muscles.
Was he hard, the guy?
I mean, they get off on this, so maybe that's why it was so hard. Like, you had to go at it from the side instead of, like, in the mouth.
Yeah, like working those molars. Get the canines on it.
Oh, my God. Okay, so he's trying to bite
I have a lot of questions.
Yeah. I can't answer them, but I'm willing to listen.
You said they already boned?
Yes.
Well, now I want to know the dynamics of that, because he's going to bite this guy's dick off.
Maybe Armin was boning Burnt.
Mm-hmm.
And
that
then...
would be the more sanitary way to do this.
And...
so that there wasn't,
his dick didn't have shit on it.
Yeah, you'd never go ass to mouth.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Hard rule for a majority of folks. Okay, so he tries to bite his dick off. It doesn't work. And so Armin decides to bust both of the guy's nuts with his teeth.
Oh, what?
And then he... I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm so uncomfortable that it's making me laugh.
How do you bust them? First
he...
of all, like, chomp into them like a goddamn gusher?
Yeah. He went after him like goddamn gushers. And then he decided to pull out a knife and cut the guy's dick off.
Oh, my God. And the guy's just, like...
all in for
conscious.
It. Agrees to it. Armin says that Bernd screamed horribly for like 20 to 30 seconds, and the blood was squirting from the open wound, similar to a fountain. I have random quotes like sprinkled throughout the story.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Okay, so this guy has his dick cut off. His balls are smashed like gushers.
Oh my God.
And Armin cuts the dick in half and then gives Burnt his half of the dick, and they try to eat it raw. But Burnt is like, this is too chewy. And so Armin is like, I have a great idea. Let's fucking stir fry your dick.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
This is why I couldn't sleep last night.
Have they now stopped the bleeding?
Okay.
So that, like, he can hang out through this?
Well, you have to remember the point is that he's going to die. Like, he's being slaughtered.
Well, yeah, but, like, if you're going to pause for a stir fry.
Okay. So, he cuts the dick up into bite sizes. He puts it in a pan, and he puts salt and pepper, garlic, wine, and some of this dude's fat into a pan and starts cooking it.
Okay, wait. Where do you get the fat from? Is it also from the dick?
I don't know. It didn't say.
Just like
maybe they just like cut off a piece of
chunk of his butt.
Yeah, maybe a chunk of his butt if it had fat. Yeah, I don't know. And then like
them love handles.
Yeah, yeah, and then threw it in the pan and cooked it up. Which I'm not saying I'd eat dick. But
sounds good though, right? Put garlic on anything and I'm in.
I'm crying. But I mean, you put enough garlic and wine.
Oh my God. This is fucking absurd.
You put enough garlic and wine on anything, and I'd try it.
I'm so uncomfortable.
Okay, so he's cooking up the dick.
Uh-huh.
And he has to tend to Burnt because he's bleeding everywhere.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, exactly. So he has to tend to him because he's bleeding everywhere and he's like feeling faint and everything. And he ends up burning the goddamn dick.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Burnt's dick got burnt.
You can't just come across another one of those.
How fucking pissed would you be? That was my one dick.
Seriously, yeah. Like,
cook it right.
You gotta try like half at a time, see if the other half.
Yeah, like in case you don't like the way you prepared it.
Also, this is the one thing you've been like training for, is eating a person.
Maybe he was so excited, you know, he like put it on high, like we're gonna eat it right away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so the dick is unedible and he feeds it to his dog.
I would never feed you dick, Carl. That's actually a lie. I gave him bull dick.
Yeah.
But not people dick. I would never give you a people dick, Carl.
You think he knows the difference?
Yeah, bull dicks are super long.
I mean, but Carl doesn't know how long it is, right? You gave it to him. Oh, wait, you're talking about those chewies.
Yeah.
That would be fucking weird if they just had, like, human dick chewies.
That would be so weird.
All right, this is getting really
out
weird.
of hand.
We are super uncomfortable.
Yeah, I make jokes to mask my uncomfortableness.
Yeah, I'm squirming in my chair. And I read this already. Burnt was delirious from the blood loss, and Armin says, why don't you go lay in a warm bath and wait to bleed out?
Uh-huh.
And so Burnt agrees, and he takes more sleeping pills. Like, maybe I'll just pass out, and then I'll bleed out. And while he's soaking in the bath for 3 hours...
3 hours?
3 hours. Armin waits patiently in the other room, and he's reading a Star Trek book.
You don't even have the common decency to, like, wait with your guest while they bleed out?
Like, to hang out in the bathroom with him?
Yeah.
He might have not been that much company, though, because he had so many fucking sleeping pills in him. He's just, like, coming in and out. Maybe he was hoping he would drown. I don't know.
Did Armin go in and check on him every once in a while?
I'm sure he did. I can't imagine. He's probably so excited. It's like waiting for a goddamn pizza to get done cooking. You, like, open the oven so many times. Like,
cheese still isn't browned.
Yeah, it's not ready yet. If I stop it now, it's going to taste terrible.
Oh, okay.
So 3 hours goes by, and then Armin goes in there and realizes that he's not dying. Bernd isn't dying. So he kisses him on the forehead and slits his throat, and now he's dead.
Oh, my God.
By the way, this is all on video.
Get the fuck out of here.
I actually don't know if that particular part is on video, but there are 4 hours of video of this night.
That
I mean, that's 3 hours.
Still watch?
So. I don't know if you can still watch it. I'm not fucking Googling that shit.
I don't want to Google that
I
either.
was like, yeah, I'm not having that. So Armin takes the body to his special slaughter room of his house.
Oh, I have one of those.
Yeah, we all do. Where he had, like, special saws and, like, a table to lay the body, and all the windows were, like, blacked out. And he hangs...
Like Dexter?
Yeah! He hangs Bernd on this meat hook.
Oh, my God.
And he uses 2 different saws to slice up the body into edible portions. And I think he ended up with, like, 65 pounds of meat.
God
so he puts them in baggies, little freezer baggies, and he puts them in the freezer, and he covers it with some, like, pizza boxes.
Because no one will look under the pizza boxes.
Yeah, yeah. I just have a freezer full of pizza. Psych.
Ugh. Also, like, I've gone in your freezer before. I've gone in your freezer chest thing before.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? You're like, hey, you can feel free to get one of those drumsticks out of there. And I'd be like, fuck yeah. And then I just moved around your stuff and saw, like,
a foot?
A man's thigh.
Wait a minute. The man's thigh? How would you know it's a man's thigh? Do you think he skins it?
Yeah, I think it would still have the skin on it.
Ew. There's
yeah,
like
and it'd
hair
be like
out there.
curly man hair.
Maybe that's so that the skin will stay, or the meat will stay moist.
Yeah.
Like when you leave the fat on it.
Well, like,
when you cook.
Have you ever gotten, like, not gotten, or, like, seen from the butcher, like, the pig legs and stuff? They have skin on them.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually a really good point. But I'm sure he didn't have friends over all the time rummaging through his freezer looking for a drumstick like you are.
That's probably true.
He probably didn't have many friends if this was his fetish.
Good thing I wasn't his friend, because I would have been right in his freezer. Like, what kind of ice cream you got in this place?
I am fucking hungry for some ice cream.
I make myself at home. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, let me go through here. Oh, pizza. I love pizza.
Mm-hmm. What kinds do you have? Well, the cheese is probably at the bottom.
Nope. Nope. Anyway, so just so you know, with the skull and, like, the unedible organs and stuff, he buried them in his garden out back. He also tried to grind the bones to make flour. Like, he was trying to fucking
consume all parts of this?
Yes, use every part. He was literally like, fee, fi, fo, fum, I will grind your goddamn bones to make my bread.
Oh.
I don't know that he yelled that.
I mean, you get one opportunity. He did.
Yeah, he must have. He probably left that out.
He would not miss that opportunity.
But I guess it didn't work out, because it said he tried.
Okay.
So he ends up consuming 50 pounds of this meat, of Bernd's meat. 50 pounds. Not in, like, one sitting, but, like, he had this meat long enough. 3 years he had this meat in his freezer, and he ate 50 pounds of meat. You could eat 50 pounds in 3 years.
Probably.
It's probably, like, special occasions.
Oh, my God. Do you think he fed it to anyone?
I don't know. I would hope not. He's probably saving that for himself, because he, like, fucking gets off on this shit.
It's like his special treat.
Yeah. So his first meal was very special to him, and it would
have been that dick.
Had he not burned it, it would have been that dick. But instead it was the rump steak, and he cooked it up with potatoes and sprouts, and he took out his finest china and his best bottle of his finest South African wine.
Wow.
And he set the table for himself, and he ate it.
Treat
and I
yourself.
Guess... Yeah. Yeah. Do you think he drew himself a bubble bath?
Yeah.
I guess, like, the whole fetish behind this is that you care about somebody so much, and when you consume them, they stay with you forever, and you're closer to them because they're literally inside you.
Okay, I've heard of that before.
But don't they know about fucking digestion? Like, you eat the person, and sure, they're inside of you and closer to you, but not there forever, because you're going to shit them out.
Yeah, and For you, it's like 20 minutes later.
Yeah, for me, it's like 20 minutes later. I would eat Aaron, and then in 20 minutes, I'd feel so close to you for a solid 20 minutes, and then you'd be gone. And you know what? Eventually, I would eat all of you, and then I wouldn't have you to eat.
What if
to
that
be
was
inside
like
of me?
The best 20 minutes of your life, though. You just felt like that was worth it.
That's basically how this guy describes it.
Oh, okay.
It's like, it's...
So he did know about digestion then?
Yeah, but it was more of like I think he has this belief that eating, like he is with him forever because he ate him.
Yeah, that's not how food works.
No, yeah. Well, Armin got really sad because he was running out of meat. And so he posted another ad on that website.
Okay.
And somebody turned him in. And so this is eventually how he gets caught. So the police come to his house and they happen upon this freezer full of meat, and he tells them that it's like wild hog. It's not human.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm sure he's not like, no, that's not human, that's wild hog. He's probably just like, oh yeah, that's all my wild hog.
Well, he only has like 15 pounds of it left at this point, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how much area 15 pounds of meat takes up.
Yeah, probably just like a couple.
But it sounds significantly less than 65, so I feel like it can't be that much.
Yeah, I wonder how big this freezer was. And I mean, obviously it's about the size of a body chopped up.
He had a butcher room.
How does he explain that? Right? Well, he didn't explain it very well because he gets caught.
Yeah,
and plus
obviously.
they're like, by the way, you posted this thing on the website, and this other guy that you last talked to is now missing. But anyway,
He's never been heard from again.
Yeah, but I didn't ever find anything about Burn's family being like, where the fuck is Burned?
Yeah, like what was going on in his life that he's like, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, fuck it, yellow, bro. So he gets caught. He never denies his cannibalism, and he shows the videotape where Byrne consents to the death. Like, he shows them, like, here's all my shit. Like, he said it was okay.
Oh my God.
I did it.
Yeah, because that's okay.
Right?
Like, it's illegal to kill yourself. You think it's illegal to
I don't
kill
know what the
someone else?
rules are in Germany, but I do
true.
know this about the rules in Germany. Cannibalism isn't illegal.
What?
Isn't that weird? So he got charged with disturbing the peace of the dead.
So eating the dick would have been fine because the guy was still alive.
Yep, and he consented. And even the killing of him, the slaughtering,
'Cause
slitting
he
his throat,
consented.
he consented. But because he continued to dice him up and eat him after, that was disturbing the dead. Oh, he got 8 years in prison, and he was convicted in 2004. So this was...
Math.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, so this happened in 2001 that he did the slaughtering.
Mm-hmm.
He got caught in 2004. So that was 3 years he's been eating this meat, and he still had some meat left over.
Oh my God.
And then he only gets fucking 8 years.
So he's out now.
Well, people freaked out. People were like, what the fuck? And they showed this video to the jurors, and like they had to seek therapy after. I think they only showed like 20 minutes of it, and they had to seek therapy after to show that like he consented and everything. But eventually he got charged with murder. I was going to say manslaughter, but he got charged with manslaughter earlier. So people started to freak out, and in 2005 they retry him on murder because they're saying that the killing was sexually motivated, and so that he would do it again. Not that just that this one guy had consented and so that it was okay that he basically slaughtered this dude, but like he is potentially a murderer. Even if they're consenting or not, he is sexually motivated by this, and if he wants it bad enough, he'll get it how he needs to. And he has admitted to like, yeah, it's like a sexual thing for me. Like, I still have the urge.
Oh my God.
And so he ended up getting life in prison. So he's still in prison.
Well, that's good.
And I'll have you know that he is currently writing a book, and he is a vegetarian.
What? Twist.
What? It's so weird, though, because, like, I'm upset by it, but I'm also, like, the guy wanted it. Like, he was okay with it. But also, he had, like, a shit ton of sleeping pills and, like, was out of his mind. But he obviously consented if he went there and, like, was like, I want you to bite off my dick. And after that, he wasn't. I guess he had the pills already. I don't know how I feel about this.
I mean, maybe it's someone's fetish thing or whatever, but I
Yeah.
would think that the only way that you're going to consent to something like that is that you're not in your right mind, and whether that be mentally, like you're super depressed or something, like you could seek help and then live a happy life afterward.
Is that fucking Carl barking in the canyon?
Yes, it is.
Well, yeah, and this is where I wanted to come back to the whole conversation about, like, fetishes and is it okay, is it not okay? Because, like, I can't place my morals on somebody else, but I feel like there's a line where, like, obviously if you're harming others, then that should be a line. But if
but some people are into, like, knife play and stuff.
Well, yeah, like sadism.
Yeah,
Sadist.
yeah.
Wait, sadism?
Yeah, sadomasochism.
Yeah. Oh, look at that big word. Good job. And if people consent to that, then that's okay. But is it okay that it goes to the point of death? Is that like assisted suicide? Are we all okay with that?
Well, assisted suicide is illegal here.
Yeah, I don't know what it... I mean, Germany, you can eat fucking people and it's cool, so I have no idea what the laws are there.
Yeah. Here's the thing about assisted suicide, though, is I don't necessarily disagree with that.
I don't disagree with it at all. But, I mean, maybe the manner in which you're doing the suicide freaks me out.
Yeah.
But who am I to say what way is okay for you to take your own life?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the thing about this. Like, when I read this, I was like, what the actual fuck? And no way should he be out and running around because that's just dangerous. But also, who am I to say what you can and cannot be into? And if both parties are consenting and they're adults and they're of sound-ish mind, then,
I just feel like you've got to be like...
You can't eat each other.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Just don't eat each other.
It's so fucking weird, man.
Sick. God damn.
God damn it. Oh, no, and he's, like, really big advocate against people who have
Eating
this...
people?
Yeah, who have this fetish. He's like, please seek mental help. Don't let it escalate like it escalated for me. Like, I knew I was doing something bad, but I didn't realize it was that bad because I had consent. Like, I knew I was doing something taboo, but I didn't realize that it was, like, this bad because I had consent of the person. You know that, like, thing where, like, serial killers and shit, they're known for having charm and winning people over and all that stuff?
Yeah.
I feel like just reading the little bits of it, he's, like, won me over on his side. Like, I'm not saying it's okay to eat people, and I don't want him out. I want him definitely where he is, life in prison, because that fucking freaks me out. But is that right? Just because it freaks me out, it doesn't necessarily mean he would, like, hunt me down and eat me, because 2 other people came, and they said they didn't want him to do that, and he was like, okay. But I'm also not okay with my neighbor fucking sawing up people and eating them.
I don't know, man. There's got to be, like, a better outlet where someone's not gonna get murdered.
Yeah, that's true. Like, find fucking art. Watch a Bob Ross video.
Or, like...
Paint some happy trees.
Butcher a pig together. Like, bone and then butcher a pig and eat that raw.
Yeah, maybe that escalates, though. I mean, obviously, we don't have this, so I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's real fucking weird.
It's weird, right? Yeah, so put that in your brains.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Just gonna go to sleep tonight.
Yep.
Dream about fucking raw dicks and then burn dicks.
Fucking cooking them up in garlic and wine.
And flamethrower and scrotums.
Goddamn chef, man.
Oh my god.
Oh, also, just a side note, he said that his neighbor said that he was like a totally normal guy, would like go out and mow his lawn. He was like kind of quiet but really nice and would invite them over for dinner. But they didn't say like and served us fucking human flesh.
I'm sure really weird meat.
I'm sure he saved that for himself.
Ugh. Oh my god.
I don't know. Hey everybody. If you're still with us, we fucking love you.
Thanks for listening.
Yes, and come tell us how interesting or how long-winded or how fucking amazing or how mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Or
all of the nice things that you can say about us. Go ahead and say them on iTunes reviews.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Or
any other review. Any other platform review. We want to hear your fucking reviews.
That's true.
Rate us. Share us with your friends. Yeah. Tell them to listen to us.
Tell people about us.
Tweet at us.
Ooh, we'll answer it.
Yeah, tweet at us at ISGD Podcast.
Or you can always email us at isgdpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. We want to talk to you guys. We want to hear what you want to hear. We want to get some feedback.
To be involved.
Yes, this is your show too, man.
We're doing it for you. And also so that we can hang out every week. But
yeah, mainly it's so that we can hang out every week.
Yeah, but also we hope that you like listening to us because we like listening to us. So,
and that is really the crux of why people make podcasts.
Yeah.
So, until next episode. Later, losers.
Later, losers. And if you're all caught up on our podcast, check out this promo from our friends over at Heartland Homicide.
Hi, I'm Christy, one of the hosts of Heartland Homicide, a true crime podcast. My co-host Kason and I focus on cases from the heartland of the U.S. You can find us on iTunes, Podbean, and most major podcast platforms. We explore some well-known and some not-so-well-known cases close to us. We are on social media at Heartland Homicide on Facebook and on Twitter at HRTLND Homicide. And while these cases may not be Florida crazy, they are cornfield crazy.